Hi everyone, today I am making part 3 of my How to Breastfeed series, How to Pump Milk. I'm going to be showing you on the electric breast pump that I have, which is the Medela pump in style. All the breast pumps are a little bit different, but basically, you put the pieces together, you plug it in, you turn it on, and that's the main thing. So it's really just the actual pump, figuring out the settings of how to turn it on and off and slow it down a little bit that are a little bit different, but they're basically all the same. Manual breast pumps, it's really just using your hand and pumping it with your hand, which can be very time consuming and tiring, and you can only do one breast at a time. But if you're only using it occasionally, it's nice to have one, or if you don't really need to pump but you want to have it just in case, it's always good to have as a backup. If you have an infant in the hospital, in the NICU, for whatever reason, sometimes they will rent you one of their pumps, and those are really good. They're the hospital grade pumps. They work very well. So depending on what you need to pump for is whether you need the manual, electric, or the hospital grade. So I'm going to be showing you the Medela pump in style, and I really like it. And if you don't think you can afford an electric breast pump, check with your insurance company. Nowadays they actually have a lot of benefits for breastfeeding moms, and they will cover the cost of a breast pump, or they'll put money towards a breast pump. So definitely check with them before you buy one. So this is my breast pump, the Medela pump in style. It comes in this cute little tote bag, and I already have started putting it together. This is the actual pump right here. It's actually built into the bag, and this little part right here is where you plug it in. This is where you turn it on and off, and this is where the tubing goes that connects the bottle to the pump. If for whatever reason you're only pumping on one side, you would take off one of the tubings and use this little cover to cover it, and that way it'll only pump on that one side. So that's nice too, if for whatever reason you need to only pump on one side. So this is the front. It also comes with a couple of disposable nursing pads, so I just keep those in there just as a backup. In the back of the bag is a little pocket. You can put whatever you want in there. You could use this as your purse if you wanted, if you were going somewhere. But I just keep the information guide and the instruction manual in here just to have. Just in case I have a question, I can refer back to the instruction manual. So inside the bag, I've already taken out, is a cooler, and it holds 4 of the Medela bottles, which it comes with, and they all have lids, which is nice. So it also comes with an ice pack, which is already in my freezer, and then in the front there's a little pocket, and you can put a little card in here that says your name or whatever, if for whatever reason there's many people pumping where you work and you wanted to keep this in the refrigerator. That way everyone knows whose it is, but that's up to you. So these are nice. You can pump it right into here, and you can leave them in here if you want. I actually use storage bags personally just because it's easier, and also if you're going to pump more than once wherever you are, it's better to put it in a separate bag. But I'm going to be talking about how to store the breast milk in a minute. So those are the bottles. It also comes with an AC adapter, which is in this little box that you can plug in. But another cool thing it comes with is a battery pack. So you put the batteries in here and plug that in. That way you can do this anywhere. So that's always nice. You have your bottle, and then you have this part that attaches to the bottle. And there's this little yellow part that if you've ever started pumping and it's just not working right, you may have forgotten to put the yellow part in. This is very important. Also, the little white part that's on it is also important. So if you accidentally threw that away or ripped or whatever, they should give you a couple extra ones, but if not, then you can always order more. So you put that on, and then you screw it on to the bottle. Then you attach the flange, which is this part, to the back. And then you put your tubing in the front. So this is what it looks like already done, and the Medela manual pump looks just like this without the tubing, and it has the pumping part on the front. So this is what it looks like. Now the flange, this actually is not the one that it came with. I am larger on top, so the one that it came with does not fit me. So that's really important to remember, is that these are not one size fits all. There are, I think, 5 different sizes, but you can check. They are on the Medela website. You can buy them on Amazon, Babies R Us, Target. I'll put the link below for Amazon, but you want to try these out before you start pumping, because you might not be able to get, you know, enough milk without using the right size. So the one that it comes with, I think, is a 24 millimeter. This is a 30. So obviously there's a big difference in the one that I needed to use. And the way to know is once you start pumping, you have this against your breast, and you can see in this that the nipple is right in the middle. It's not touching the sides, and it's got a good fit on the breast. That's how you know it's a good fit. If it's too small, the nipple will be touching the sides, and when you turn the pump on, it's going to be squeezing it too much, and it's going to be mostly just squeezing the nipple instead of the whole areola area. Kind of just like in my latching video, if you have the baby latched wrong, the milk won't come out as well either. So it's the same thing for this. You want to make sure you have a good fit and good seal there. If it's too big, it won't be able to seal, and you know, it should sort of suction onto the breast. So if it's not doing that, that means it's too big. Okay, so as far as storing your breast milk, if you looked it up, you're gonna find like 15 different answers. I tend to lean toward whatever is the shortest amount of time. So as far as if you pumped it and just put it on the counter, kept it at room temperature, or if you were bringing it with you somewhere, like you're going to be out all day and you wanted to have a bottle of milk with you, I would say it's good for about 4 hours. If it's in a cooler, like the one that it comes with an ice pack, I would say it's good for about 8 hours. This one's so cool, you know, comes with a little thing you could use if you don't need the cooler. You can use it for your lunchbox. You know, it's cool. So that's about 8 hours with the ice pack. If it's in the refrigerator, about 3 days is good for it to be in the refrigerator. And for the freezer, if you have a freezer that's within your refrigerator, like you have one door for your refrigerator and freezer, that's about 3 months. If you have a regular freezer that's separated but still part of your refrigerator, that's about 6 months. And if you have a deep freezer, that can be 9 months to a year. So those are the different times. And the best way to know, you don't want to guess, you don't want to just throw breast milk in and be like, I think this was from a month ago. That's why it's nice to have the storage bags. I use the Lanzano storage bags. You might know this brand because of the lanolin that you may have used in the beginning when you were very sore, which I'm going to be talking about in my next video. There are, again, many different brands, and these ones are the best value on Amazon, which is why I picked them. But they're also nice. They have the double seal. They have a little spot on them to write the date and time, which is nice. So, and how much you pumped. So that way you're not guessing, like, is this a 2-ounce bag? Is this a 6-ounce bag? Which again brings me to my next point. When you pump it, you don't necessarily have to pour it all into one bag. If you had some crazy day where you pumped 6 ounces, but you have a 3-day-old, they're not going to take 6 ounces anytime soon. So it's best to divide that into 2 or 3 ounce portions. You can always take out more bags. You don't want to take out a 6-ounce bag. They only drink 2 ounces, and then you have to get rid of the rest, and you wasted your precious milk. So definitely keep them in smaller portions rather than bigger portions. Now, once you decide you need to use the milk, there's also a couple of timing things that you want to remember. If you take the milk out of the freezer, it's best to put it in the refrigerator to defrost it first. And once you put it from the freezer to the refrigerator, you have about 24 hours. If you take it out of the refrigerator and bring it to room temperature, that's about 4 hours. And then once it's warmed, you have about 1 hour. Now, to warm it, You do not want to put it in the microwave. The microwave can create hot spots. It also can kill some of the nutrients in the breast milk, so avoid the microwave. The best way to do it is to take a cup of warm tap water, put the bottle or the bag right into it, and just bring it to room temperature. It takes a couple minutes. If it's really cold, you might need to do it, get rid of the water, get new warm water, and put it in. And then of course you will want to test it to make sure it's not too hot. And the best place to test it is your wrist. If you've ever seen, like in movies, they're pouring the milk on your wrist. That's because this is a very sensitive area, so it's a good gauge of where to check the water. Just like when you do a bath, you don't want to stick your hand under because your hand can handle a lot more. You want to stick your wrist under to see if it's too hot or too cold against your wrist. So another thing to remember is if you are giving them a bottle, you want to make sure the bottle is clean. Now with my first one, typical first time mom, I did everything way too crazy. I would sterilize the bottles every time I used them because I'm insane. I'd registered for a sterilizer, but I didn't get it. But my friend had given me one of hers, and you know, you filled a little bit of water. It came with a couple of shelves kind of in this little compartment. You turned it on, it got the water very warm, so it steamed the whole area, so it sterilizes it. But you know, nowadays, you know, I'm on my 4th kid now, so it's a little bit different. It's like that Love's commercial, you know, you're always crazy with your first one, and then after you're like whatever. But what I do now is I actually don't even use the actual sterilizer because there's so many pieces and I don't feel like cleaning it and drying it and all that kind of stuff. So I just take a pot of water, boil it, turn it off, and throw everything in for 5 minutes, and that cleans it very well. So I do that with my bottles, pacifiers, nibbles, anything that's new, I sterilize it before I use it. After that, I just wash it. You can put them in your dishwasher, or you can just wash it with warm soapy water, and that's pretty much all you need to do. You do not need to sterilize things every single time. So the bottles that I use that I've found very good with breastfeeding are the Nook bottles. This is an example. This is the little one because my daughter's only 2 months old, so she's not taking anything crazy yet. This is a 5-ounce size. They also have the 10-ounce size, and I just like these. They're cute, and I've never had a problem going from breastfeeding to bottle feeding, except with my 3rd one, we didn't give it to her until I went back to work. Then there was a problem. So I definitely suggest, if you are even thinking about going back to work anytime soon, offer a bottle. Like, I started with my first, second, and with this one because I learned from my mistake with the last one. At about around 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old, I gave them a bottle to see how they did, and they did very well. And after that, every week I would give them 1 bottle just so they didn't forget about it. Because with my 3rd one, we did give her one at 1 month old, and then she did not take it until I went back to work at 3 months, and she refused to take it. Like, she'd rather die. So that's, you don't want that to happen. So once a week, 1 bottle, that's all you need to do. Unless you are, you know, already out and about and you want to give them more, that's completely up to you. But if you're pretty much with your baby all the time, then that 1 bottle, it'll get them used to it, but it won't get them confused or anything like that. So I liked these. They're they have the anti-colic system. The shape of the nipple is, you know, a little bit different than that straight one that you see, and that's what I liked about it. So I've never had a problem with these. I've never had a problem with colic, with gassiness. I like these a lot. And actually, these are the exact bottles I have used since my first daughter. And the only thing I've changed is the actual nipple. I always replace the nipple with each baby because they do get worn and everything like that. So I like these, and I will put a link for all of these products for the Amazon links on the page below. And if you have any questions about pumping, please write it in the comments. and stay tuned because I will be making part 4 of my video of how to breastfeed series, and that will be answering all of the questions if things go wrong or, you know, just things to remember. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys.